Welcome. I want to tell you something honestly. This is not the kind of video where I say, here are 5 tips to improve your life, and then disappear. This is not about motivation for 10 minutes and then nothing changes. This is something bigger, something more real. Because what we're talking about today is the difference between a peaceful life and a painful one. We live in a world where everyone wants a reaction. They insult you because they want to control you. They ignore you because they want to break you. They spread lies just to see you fall apart. And most people, they react instantly, emotionally, loudly. They lose their peace. They lose their control. They lose their power. And the sad truth is, most people don't even realize how much of their life they are destroying with their own reactions. That one argument that ruined a friendship. That one text message that ended a relationship. That one moment of anger that changed everything. So today, I'm asking you to slow down and listen. Because if you truly understand what I'm about to share, you will become the kind of person who doesn't just survive. You will become the kind of person who becomes untouchable. Calm, strong, focused, peaceful. Not because the world is easy, but because you no longer let the world control your mind. This video is not just for people who want to be successful. This is for people who are tired of being broken by emotions. This is for the people who are ready to
Finally take their power back. And I promise you this, if you stay with me till the end, you will understand a kind of strength most people never learn in their entire life. This video is not just motivation. It also builds powerful English. Every word is simple. Every sentence teaches strength and clarity. It's not just about speaking better. It's about thinking better. Let's begin. Lesson 1. Reacting means they control you. When someone can press a button and make you angry. When someone can say one sentence and your whole mood changes. When you allow their insult, their silence, their opinion to shake you. You are no longer in control of your life. You're being controlled like a puppet. And the strings are your emotions. People think that reacting quickly means they're strong. But reacting fast doesn't mean you're powerful. It means you're easy to manipulate. Every time you react without thinking, you give away something precious. Your peace, your energy, your power. Now think about this. How many moments in your life were destroyed because you reacted too fast? How many times did you scream at someone you loved and then regret it later? How many times did you reply to a message in anger and then wish you could unsend it? This is what emotional slavery looks like. You may not be wearing chains on your hands, but your emotions are being controlled by the world around you. And the worst part? You don't even realize it. For example, there was once a young man working in an office. He worked hard, stayed late, followed every rule. But one day, during a team meeting, his manager criticized him in front of everyone. It wasn't fair, it wasn't true, and in that moment, he exploded. He shouted, he argued, he defended himself. Everyone went silent. The room became tense. Later, the manager calmly walked away. And this young man, he became known as the emotional guy. Not the hard-working one, not the intelligent one. His one reaction destroyed the image he built for years. He didn't win, he lost, because he let someone else control how he responded. The solution, the 5-second rule that changes everything. Here's what strong people do. They pause. Next time someone disrespects you, next time someone lies, yells, ignores, or insults you, Don't speak, don't move, don't react. Just breathe. Inhale, exhale for 5 seconds. And in those 5 seconds, you take back the one thing nobody else should ever have: your control. Because when you pause, something magical happens. The emotion starts to fade. The fire starts to calm, and your brain starts to think instead of burn. You can still respond if needed, but now your words will be strong, not stupid. Your actions will be wise, not emotional. This habit, this one pause, will change your entire life. In relationships, in business, in fights, in family drama, in everything. Because when you don't react, you're not weak. You're powerful. You're untouchable. You're free. Part 2. Lesson 2. Most reactions become regrets. There are moments in life we wish we could go back and erase. One message, one word, one shout, one decision, made in anger, made in fear, made without thinking. And those are the moments we carry for years. You don't carry the insult they gave you. You carry the way you reacted. You don't carry the failure. You carry the way you broke down when it happened. You don't carry the problem. You carry your emotional reaction to it. People think that reacting quickly means you're real or honest. But in truth, fast reactions come from pain, not power. Reacting is what you do when you're trying to survive, not when you're trying to grow. We scream when we feel small. We blame when we feel weak. We fight when we feel hurt. But once the moment is gone, what's left? Guilt, shame, regret. We start to realize, I should have stayed quiet. I should have taken a moment. I should have let it go. But by then, it's too late, because reactions once made can't be deleted. Words don't go away, actions don't disappear, and people don't forget. Think about it. How many people have you pushed away because you reacted too fast? How many arguments could have been avoided? How many relationships could have been saved? How many peaceful days did you ruin just because you allowed a bad moment to control you? And here's the most painful truth. Sometimes you don't realize what you lost until it's too late to fix it. There was a woman who loved her younger sister deeply. They were close, like best friends. But one day, during a family gathering, the sister made a sarcastic comment about something sensitive, something that touched an old wound. In that moment, the woman exploded. She shouted in front of everyone. She said words she couldn't take back, words that weren't even true, just full of old pain and buried emotions. The family stood in silence. The sister left. Days passed. Weeks passed. But the relationship never returned. Years later, that woman often looked at a photo of the two of them and cried. Not because of what her sister said, but because of how she reacted. One moment, one reaction, a lifetime of regret. The solution: train yourself to respond, not react. This is a mindset, a muscle, a daily discipline. When something painful happens, you must practice this one sentence in your mind. This emotion is real, but this reaction is a choice. Yes, you feel hurt. Yes, it's unfair. Yes, you want to scream, but don't. Instead, pause. Close your mouth. Still your body. Let the emotion rise. But don't move. Feel it. Allow yourself to feel the anger, the sadness, the fear, but only in silence. Name it. Ask, am I reacting to the moment or to something old that still lives in me? Wait 10 minutes, or 1 hour, or even a day. Then and only then respond. With truth, with calm, with power. This one habit can save relationships. It can save your peace. It can save your future. because reacting might feel strong in the moment. But peace is stronger, and peace never creates regret. Part 3. Lesson 3. Silence is a superpower. The world loves noise. People are constantly talking, arguing, explaining, justifying, trying to prove they're right, trying to win, trying to look strong. But here's a truth you won't hear in most videos. The strongest people are not the loudest ones. They're the quiet ones who don't need to speak to prove anything. You see, silence is misunderstood. People think silence is weakness, that if you're quiet, you're scared, that if you walk away, you're afraid. But the truth is the opposite. It takes more strength to stay calm than to shout. It takes more wisdom to walk away than to argue. It takes more power to say nothing when everything in you wants to fight. Silence is control. Silence is focus. Silence is dignity. Because when you stay silent, people don't know what you're thinking. They don't know what your next move is. They don't know if they've hurt you or if you've already won. And that mystery is power. Example. There was a man who was publicly humiliated on social media by his former friend. Fake stories, twisted screenshots, pure character assassination. Everyone expected him to fight back. Everyone waited for him to post his side, to go live, to reply. But he didn't. He said nothing. People called him weak, coward, guilty. But he stayed silent. 6 months later, the truth came out. The friend who lied was exposed by someone else. The man's silence was now seen as dignity, class, strength. Because while others were screaming, he was winning. Quietly. The solution. Use silence as a weapon. Not a weakness. You don't need to respond to every insult. You don't need to explain yourself to people who already made up their minds. You don't need to post, message, defend, or fight for your dignity. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say nothing. Let your silence speak louder than your words ever could. Here's how to use silence as power. In conflict, say, "I understand," and walk away. Don't argue. Let their own words burn them. In drama, don't join the noise. Step back. Let the truth rise by itself. In disrespect, don't shout, don't cry, don't explain. Look them in the eyes and say nothing. People will notice. And when they do, you win. Not by reacting, but by rising above. Part 4. Lesson 4. Not everything deserves your energy. One of the greatest mistakes you can make in life is trying to fight every battle, defend yourself in every argument, prove your worth to every critic, respond to every message, every insult, every misunderstanding. It sounds brave, but in reality, it's how you destroy your energy, your peace, your focus, and your future. Because here's what you must understand. Not everything is worth your time. Not everyone deserves a reaction from you. Not every problem needs your emotional investment. You have limited energy in a day, and every time you give it to the wrong person, you have less left for the right things. You give your energy to gossip. You lose energy for your goals. You give your energy to hate. You lose energy for love. You give your energy to what drains you, and then wonder why you feel empty. Some people want your reaction, not because they care about you, but because it feeds their ego to see you disturbed, broken, triggered. They don't want peace. They want drama. And if you keep stepping into their world, you will never build your own. For example, there was a college student, bright, disciplined, focused. She used to stay up late, study hard, and dream big. But one day, someone spread lies about her. said she cheated on a test. Her name was whispered. People started looking at her differently. Some stopped talking to her. She was angry. She wrote long posts online, tried to explain herself to everyone. She cried at night, wondering why nobody believed her truth. Weeks passed. She lost focus. She stopped studying. She stopped dreaming. She became bitter, all because she gave her energy to something she should have walked away from. She could have said nothing. She could have let her actions speak. But she gave away her energy to people who never deserved it. Years later, she said something heartbreaking. I didn't lose because of what they said. I lost because I tried to fix what didn't matter. The solution? Learn to protect your energy, like it's gold. Here's what you must do. Create a list in your mind. What deserves my energy today? If it's not on that list, walk away from it. Don't fight small battles. You're not here to win arguments. You're here to win your life. Stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. If they already judged you, your words won't change anything. Respond only where growth is possible. If the conversation won't help you rise, it's a trap. This is not weakness. This is wisdom. You don't have to show up for every fight you're invited to, because peace is not found in winning every battle. Peace is found in knowing which battles are not worth fighting at all. Part 5. Lesson 5. The one who stays calm wins. The world respects people who stay calm when everything is falling apart. Calm people are trusted. Calm people are respected. Calm people make better decisions, build better relationships, and live stronger lives. Why? Because when you stay calm, you keep your power. When you stay calm, you see clearly. When you stay calm, you become the leader in every room, even if you say nothing. Most people live like storms. They shout, panic, cry, blame, react, lose control, and wonder why nothing works. But the person who stays calm, they become the storm's opposite. The stillness that scares it away. Calmness doesn't mean you don't feel pain. It means you have learned to hold pain with strength, not with panic. Example. There was once a man on a crowded train. Suddenly, another man entered the compartment, drunk, angry, pushing people, shouting, wild. Everyone became tense. Some shouted back, some moved away, some started recording. But one old man remained still, calm, unshaken. The angry man approached him, ready to fight. The old man looked him in the eyes and said calmly, "Whatever happened to you today, I'm sorry it brought you this far." The drunk man stopped. His fists fell. His eyes softened. He sat down and cried. The entire train was silent, because one calm man changed the energy of the entire room. He didn't react. He didn't fight. He understood something others didn't. This is not about me. That's what calm people know, that not every storm outside has to become a storm inside. The solution: build the discipline of calmness. Calmness is not natural. You have to train for it, like a warrior trains for battle. Here's how. Breathe deeply, often. Breathing isn't just a habit, it's a weapon. When your body is calm, your mind listens. Observe before speaking. Let people show who they are. Let situations unfold, then respond. With strategy, not emotion. Detach emotionally before you act. Ask yourself, am I acting from truth or from pain? If it's pain, wait. If it's truth, proceed. Practice calmness in small things. Spilled coffee, delayed train, a rude message. These are your training sessions. The more you practice calmness in small storms, the more ready you'll be when life throws the big ones. Remember, anyone can scream, Anyone can cry. Anyone can panic. But the one who can sit in the fire and still see clearly, still speak gently, still move wisely, that person wins. Because life always follows the calm mind, not the loud one. Part 6. Lesson 6. Reaction is habit. Response is power. Most people don't realize this. They're not reacting because they're angry. They're reacting because they've always reacted. Reacting has become their habit. It's automatic. It's emotional. It's not a choice anymore. And when something becomes a habit, you stop questioning it. You just do it. Someone disrespects you. You fight back. Someone ignores you. You cry. Someone cuts you in traffic. You scream. You don't stop to ask, do I need to react to this? You just react, because that's what you've always done. But here's the powerful truth. Reaction is automatic. Response is intentional. And only one of them leads to peace, success, respect, and power. Let's understand the difference. A reaction is fast, emotional, uncontrolled. It comes from a wounded place inside you. A response is calm, clear, conscious. It comes from a powerful place inside you. The person who reacts is like a volcano, loud, wild, destructive. But the person who responds is like the ocean, deep, steady, untouchable. You must ask yourself today, are you reacting like a machine, or are you responding like a master? Because those who respond rule their life. Those who react are ruled by their emotions. Example. There was once a young man who worked as a waiter in a busy restaurant. He was kind, focused, and always respectful. One evening, a rich customer walked in. Rude, entitled. He clicked his fingers, snapped orders, and finally, when his food was delayed, shouted across the room, "Are you deaf, stupid, or just lazy?" The entire restaurant froze. Everyone expected the young man to fight back, to react, to defend himself. But he didn't. He looked at the man, smiled, and said with calm, steady eyes, "Sir, I'm doing my best. If that's not enough for you today, I understand. But I'll continue to serve you with respect, because that's who I am." The room went silent. The customer, who came in looking like power, now looked small. The waiter, who seemed powerless, now stood tall. The manager watched the whole thing and offered the young man a promotion that same night. Why? Because he had learned what most never do. Reaction is instinct. Response is wisdom. The deep reason we react when we are unaware of our wounds. If you were always ignored as a child, you'll overreact to being ignored now. If you were once humiliated, you'll overreact to any small disrespect. If you were once abandoned, you'll overreact to distance in a relationship. And so, reacting isn't about the person in front of you. It's about the pain inside you that was never healed. And until you understand that, you'll keep reacting to things that don't deserve your pain. You'll keep giving your peace to situations that don't deserve your attention. The solution? Turn reaction into awareness, then into response. You can break the habit. You can reprogram your mind. Here's how. Pause before everything. Even if it's just one breath, take it. Break the automatic chain. That one breath creates space, and space is where power lives. Ask yourself one question. Is this about now or about something old? Many times, the emotion you're feeling is not about the present moment. It's a memory, a wound, a trigger. Awareness is how you take control back. Respond with truth, not emotion. Truth is strong. Emotion is unstable. Speak only when your truth is clear and your heart is calm. Practice response daily, even in small things. Train yourself when you're cut off in traffic. Train yourself when your friend forgets to text back. Train yourself when life feels unfair. Each moment is practice. Each breath is a chance to become stronger. The world doesn't need more reactors. It needs more responders. Because the people who stay calm, the people who choose awareness over anger, the people who think before they speak and feel before they act, those are the ones who rise. Those are the ones who lead. Those are the ones who are remembered, not for their noise, but for their grace. And now the question is yours. Will you keep reacting from the pain of your past? Or will you start responding from the strength of your future? 7. Lesson 7. If you want peace, let go of ego. There's a reason people suffer so much in silence. It's not always because of pain. It's not always because of fear. It's not even because of others. Most of the time, it's because of ego. That silent, invisible voice inside that says, they should have treated me better. I need to prove I was right. I deserve more respect. They don't see my value, and that hurts me. I can't let them win. And so you react, you respond, you fight, you explain. Not because it's necessary, but because your ego is burning for attention. But what you don't realize is, ego is not your power. Ego is your prison. It's the reason you stay stuck, angry, bitter, unfree. The ego wants to be seen, loved, admired, respected, and praised all the time. But when the world doesn't give you those things, and it won't, the ego panics. And when the ego panics, you react. You shout in the middle of an argument because your ego says, they can't talk to me like that. You reply to a hate comment because your ego says, they don't know who I am. You explain your side in every fight because your ego says, I must defend myself. But here's the truth nobody wants to hear. You don't need to defend what's already real. You don't need to prove what already exists. And you don't need to be loud to be right. The moment you drop the ego, you rise. Because the ego lives in pain, but your soul lives in peace. Example. There was a man who spent years working for a company. He gave everything, his time, his health, his loyalty. But one day, without warning, the company replaced him. No apology, no gratitude, nothing. He was filled with rage. His ego screamed, how could they do this to me? Don't they know who I am? I gave them everything. He wanted to go public, to expose the company, to take revenge. But before doing anything, he spoke to his grandmother, a woman who had lived through wars, betrayals, poverty, and still carried peace in her eyes. She said, my child, listen to me carefully. You don't heal by proving others wrong. You heal by proving to yourself that their actions will not control your future. Those words changed him forever. He didn't fight. He didn't attack. He walked away in silence, with dignity, with clarity. 6 months later, he started his own company. Quietly, consistently. Years later, he was more successful than the very people who had betrayed him, because he let go of ego and held on to peace. Why ego makes you react? Because ego is loud. It can't accept disrespect. It can't tolerate rejection. It can't survive silence. And so every time someone challenges your worth, every time someone forgets your value, every time someone walks away without explanation, your ego explodes. But here's the danger. Ego wants revenge. Your soul wants freedom. And if you keep choosing ego, you'll keep losing peace. You'll react to every comment. You'll argue with every fool. You'll destroy relationships just to win temporary wars. But when the war ends, you'll be alone, with your ego and without your peace. The solution: kill ego, choose peace. Every single time. This is the most important part. You can't master your emotions if you don't confront your ego. Catch the voice. The moment you feel the urge to prove, fight, attack, or explain, pause. Ask, is this my soul speaking? Or my ego screaming? Let people be wrong about you. It's hard, but it's powerful. Not everyone deserves access to your truth. Let them misunderstand you. Let them talk. You don't owe everyone a version of yourself that makes them comfortable. Stop fighting to be right. The need to be right is often the reason we stay stuck in the wrong energy. Ask yourself, what's more important? Being right or being at peace? Choose silence where ego wants to scream. The next time someone disrespects you and you feel the fire rising, breathe, smile, walk away, not because you're weak, but because you're not ruled by something as fragile as ego anymore. Remember, your worth is not a debate. You don't need to react to prove it. You don't need to speak to protect it. You just need to live it, with calmness, with clarity, and with quiet confidence. When you let go of ego, something beautiful happens. You stop chasing validation. You stop reacting to noise. You stop proving your worth. And for the first time in your life, you feel light. You feel free. You feel unshakable. Because peace doesn't live in the loud. It lives in the still, in the calm, in the quiet heart that no longer needs to win every argument. That's the kind of strength most people never find. But you just did. Now choose it. Not once, not twice, but every day. Because the less you need to react, the more power you truly have. And the less ego you carry, the more peace you will feel. Forever. Now you know the truth. You don't need to react to everything. You don't need to fight every battle. You don't need to prove your worth to people who never saw it in the first place. You don't need to carry the noise, the drama, the pain, just because the world throws it at you. You are more than your reactions. You are more than your anger. You are more than the storms that come and go. You are calm. You are deep. You are steady. And now, you are free. From this moment forward, may you never lose your peace again. Not for anything. Not for anyone. May your silence become your strength. May your calmness become your confidence. May your wisdom become your way of life. And whenever the world tries to pull you into chaos, pause, breathe. Remember who you are. You don't belong in the noise. You were born for something greater: peace, purpose, and quiet power. So stay still, stay true, and keep rising, silently, because sometimes the loudest thing you can ever say is nothing at all. Thank you for watching. I'm proud of you. And from my heart to yours, may God bless you with strength, with peace, and with a life that no reaction can destroy. Take care of your mind, protect your soul, and never forget, you are not weak for staying calm. You are powerful beyond words. Until next time, stay strong, stay silent, stay